All right. Good morning. Good morning, you too. Oh, this morning we're gonna talk about the woke right. The woke has been now the word woke has been appropriated by conservatives and Republicans. They have taken the word woke and bastardized it and perverted it to mean something completely horrible. And at the same time, with all of the crying and the bitching and the moaning about this is woke, that is woke, this is woke, that is woke, they themselves in turn have become woke. I mean, disingenuous bitching and moaning. Okay, sorry about that. I had a phone call. Too much shit on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, so they become the exact thing that they say they don't want to see. I mean, you know, nothing can be released nowadays without most on the conservative side jumping up and down, throwing the man. When I tell you a hissy fit, I mean they bitch and moan, kick and plea, like it's like there's no tomorrow. If they think they see any hint of what they call woke, and by woke they mean anything that's not for the most part completely white. They slick hate to admit that, but that's pretty much what it is. Now, like I said, here at the Common Sense Corner, we keep everything in the middle of the road. So while I'm, on their ass about that, at the same time, they are right. See, they are right about a few things. Most of Hollywood is putting diversity over talent because a lot of the shit they release fucking sucks. I mean, like, first and foremost. So the woke right is correct that Hollywood is releasing a bunch of bullshit. A bunch of it. But what's disingenuous about it is the fact that they label it on every fucking thing. Everything now that they feel has people of color in it or, touches on some topic, instantly branded as woke. That's not even what woke means. But again, they taking it as they usually do, reappropriate it to something that, fits the narrative. But like I said, to give them credit, they are right. Hollywood has released a lot of bullshit. And the hypocrisy in Hollywood is that, they love race swappings. Instead of funding and putting money behind and marketing behind original black stories. So, again, like I said, the woke right is right in that respect that, they are producing a lot of shit. And that's the big reason why they don't want to fund Hollywood, and their hypocrisy don't really want to fund black projects. And they could. Like, instead of turning all traditionally white characters, because I can understand it. Like, because representation is important. As much as when it comes to black representation, the woke right likes to act like black representation isn't important, but at the same time, saying their representation is important. So yeah, representation is important. No matter how the woke right tries to deny it when it comes to, people of color representation, but it's important. So, I can understand them in that respect. Well, hey, you're just a traditional white person. You turn them black. Why? True. Fun black stories. There are plenty of black stories. There are plenty of black comics, plenty of black artists. That's how Marvel became Marvel. That's how DC became DC. They started from somewhere, but they had financing. They had people who, put work into it, put time into it, put investment into it. So that is the actual hypocrisy coming from the left side of Hollywood, is that they really don't want to invest in black projects. They just want to keep race swapping because, like, and that's, that in itself, like, that's real racism. But it's just, you don't see it as that because you see them as giving black people these roles and these traditionally white, characters. But it's racist as hell that they won't fund the black stories. So, it's very hypocritical, on Hollywood's side. But, as far as the woke right is concerned, this is their hypocrisy, especially when it comes to entertainment. I'm not even talking about politics right now. I'm just talking about entertainment. The woke right, their hypocrisy in entertainment, when they're always complaining about, again, on-screen representation. And the fact that, even when it comes to character arcs, every time there's an evil white person, oh, it's woke. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, it is ridiculous. But again, their hypocrisy when it comes to representation is they're only worried about the representation on screen, right? Because, okay, there is less white representation on screen. True. Right. But what about the white representation behind the screen, behind the scenes? What percentage of the crew is white? What percentage of the ownership is white? What percentage of the finances are white? Of all the people who are going to really make the money and make the benefit off of the woke right, doesn't put their focus on the entire, and they just focus on this one tiny picture that they say doesn't matter when it comes to black people, because we shouldn't have to see a black superhero to be inspired from a hero. True, that's fine. But it's also easy for you to say when all the major superheroes, are of one color. So you say reputation doesn't matter and shouldn't matter to us, but it matters to you on this standpoint. You're only focused on the one standpoint of on-screen representation. You're not even looking at the behind-the-scene representation. See, blacks can't say that. Blacks are not able to, on screen is the only majority that they can have pretty much in any film. Honestly. And, and again, and that's why I say the woke right is so petulant and so childlike and silly that the majority of the entire filming process is going to be white. Every single part of it. But the one single part, the one small part of the film process that's not majority white, or that's not majority showing whites as heroes, is woke. And look at the uproar and the bitch and moan over the smallest percentage of the film process not being lily white or majority white. Now again, they do have merit when it comes to the acting and the writing with a lot of this shit. Like, it is fucked up. Like, I cannot lie, man. The acting and the writing has been fucked up. And again, it has come from the woke left, which, I hate to use the word woke because it's not really PC. What they're trying to convey is really PC. And even when PC was the term, they were doing it then. Politically correct police, they were just politically correct when it came to topics that they cared about. If you said one bad thing, disparaging a cop, boom, here come the PC police on the right. And it just always goes back to the dichotomy that this whole channel is based off of, is that left and right are both the same. They do the same shit, just in the left way and in the right way, but it's the same fucking bird. Left wing, right wing. Left wing, right wing. Left arm, right arm. Still the same body. So, sorry about that. But it is an amazing experiment. I mean, it is an amazing observation to see the disconnect that these two sides believe that they're so different, when anybody standing back looking from the middle can see that they're both the same. And now y'all have taken this word that once meant awareness, that once meant acuteness and being conscious. You've now taken it to mean politically correct, something that's not majority white. And again, you know, I cannot stress enough how, in the sense of bad shit being produced, you know, they're exactly right. They're exactly right. Like, they have pushed so much diversity that they have forsaken, you know, talent. And all it is, though, is an overcorrection. See, it's an overcorrection from all the bullshit that happened over the years, all the buildup, all the everything, the slavery, the Jim Crow, the Reconstruction. You know, like, it's almost as if you let trash build up, you know, for an amount of time. You let the trash build up to where it just gets unbearable. And now you want someone to remove the trash. But you want it done like right now. Like, oh, the trash has to be removed right now. We have to get the trash out now. And it doesn't work like that, because for so long you've allowed it to sit and fester and to, you know, grow. So it's going to take time. And it's the same way, like, you know, with this country. There's been so much bullshit that's happened over the course of our history that now all of a sudden that we are so-called post-racism, and now that we're so of an enlightened understanding, that now everything should just automatically be okay, and, you know, and it's just not how it goes. Like, you know, it takes time. So what we're seeing is an overcorrection from all of the bullshit that happened. But it's only happening as an overcorrection because of the lack of leadership and because of the left-right issue. It's always a pendulum swing, a major pendulum swing. You know, we have super conservative time periods that lead to super liberal time periods. Then come back and swing to super conservative time periods. It's too much of a pendulum swing, too much of a disparity in that, because of the fact of how our political culture is set up for us to just be either left or right. All our problems come down to that. Everyone is seeing things either through a blue lens or through a red lens, while all the common folk, the normal people, are seeing things, can see both colors and be like, you know what, hey, you both are right. But that particular disconnect leads to all the issues that we have now, leads to that overcorrection. So yes, Hollywood has went too far with pushing too much diversity in the wrong direction. There's nothing wrong with diversity, see, but the thing is that it's done as an overcorrection and it's done the wrong way. So what they should do, if you wanna push diversity, promote black stories. You don't have to go changing white characters to black. Promote white stories. And the same thing when it comes to gender. You know, you don't have to go changing straight characters gay. Promote gay characters. Promote new gay characters. Put the money behind it. But they don't want to do that. But again, going back to the woke right, like, all of that was to say that they're both the same. And on so many issues, they do the same thing. California. Talked about it the other day. Well, I talked about it on Twitter the other day. California is a prime example of why we should not be focused on presidential elections. It's a prime example. If the focus was put on local elections that was put on presidential elections, imagine the changes that could happen. California would not have happened. If the type of energy and time put into presidential elections or put into our local elections, it wouldn't be much, like, people wouldn't be able to skate under the radar so much and put everything off on the president. Because the president in the political structure is at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to actual power, but has the most focused of all the political positions on the totem pole. When Congress is the most powerful, and right behind Congress is our local Congresses and our local boards. Those are the real powers. Those are the people who affect you on a daily basis, not who the president is. But in any situation, again, look at the woke right. Look at how they are. Oh man, they're tearing California a new one over the so-called failed politics in California, which is true. Cannot lie. It is. It's true. But let's bring it on back over. The woke right, again, hypocritical, because let's go to Houston, Texas. Let's go to Texas. Our people without power for 3 weeks from a Category 1 hurricane. It's failed leadership all the way around, from California. Okay. These places like California and Texas have these natural form of disasters and have been having them for hundreds of years. There's no way possible, if the government was being ran in the correct way from either side, that people would still be having to go without lights in Texas for 3 weeks when a Category 1 hurricane hits. That whole cities would be burnt up in California, an entire fucking city, in 2025, with all of the fucking technology. At this point, if governments actually care, left or right, if either one of them actually cared, there would virtually be no natural disaster that could devastate us. Like that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna back up on it once I get to some stay behind here.